Hi everyone, it's Frogheim and you're watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 8, episode 4, Bitten. If you're new here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. I don't know if you already know what I'm going to say, but yeah, I was debating putting this on the worst list, and I just did. It's on the worst list for now, and we'll see if it ends up there. And there's certain reasons why I have a lot of issues with this episode, I guess. For one, I feel like this is weird to do in season 8. It's something that feels like should be in one of the earlier seasons. And what I mean by that is this filmmaking type, because it's the type of filmmaking where it's all camera, it's all, I don't know if you want to call it archival footage, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's something that it's they're trying something new, trying something different, and it feels weird for them to do it in season 8. It feels weird for them to do it now, and it's something that feels like it makes more sense in the earlier seasons when they're trying different things and trying different stuff. You know what it is they literally did this in season 3. It's the Ghostfacer episode. Ghostfacer episode in season 3, I think I'm gonna put it as the best episode in season 3. I can't recall, and it could be one of the best episodes ever of Supernatural. And it's basically the same thing. It's archival footage of someone else shooting, and then Sam and Dean are there, and they're in the plot, kind of on the sideline kind of thing. But it was done so perfectly with Ghostfacer. It made sense with Ghostfacers because that was also not our first time seeing them. It was funny. There was just so many different levels. It worked for what that episode was, and that was such a strong episode. I'll get more into the werewolf thing here, but the whole idea of doing the archival footage, it just doesn't make sense here. And even if we didn't have that Ghostfacer episode in the past, I would still feel it didn't make sense to do it here. It just doesn't make sense to do as a season 8 thing. It just feels off that it's something that they're doing now, and it just doesn't feel right within Supernatural. I'm just having a lot of issues with it. But yeah, I feel it didn't work in many ways because one, yeah, we don't know who these people are. We've never seen it before. You know, their whole story was kind of cliche. It's whatever. And then Sam and Dean were very even less so in this than the Ghostfacers one. When this first started happening, I was oh my god, I kind of remember this episode. Part of me was are they in it at all? Are they in this episode at all? But they were a little bit in it. So it just gets me into why did they do this episode? And obviously this episode was very episodic, and you know me, I'm love the episodic episodes more. I'm grateful for them, but I just feel it didn't work here. And I was kind of confused, the whole werewolf thing, and that was confusing. I was so that, was it a professor? Was that who was the original werewolf? It was a werewolf, right? I'm not losing my mind. It was werewolf. That's the thing, I'm not even exactly sure what the monster was. But we've seen werewolves before in a couple of times, and I'm just something about this episode didn't really work. And this is not an episode I would show someone to make them Supernatural. I would do Ghostfacers 100%, but this just didn't work. And I guess it also didn't feel like a Supernatural episode, even though I don't know if you're saying Ghostfacers. Sorry, I'm drinking wine. Ghostfacers feels like a Supernatural episode, but I don't know. There's something that didn't work with this. There was another point I wanted to make, but now I forgot. And then the end, they kind of just let the girl go. They're okay, we'll just let her go. That was it. The point I wanted to make is, why did they do this episode? And I wonder if it was something where they were you know, we did have vampire last season, so I wonder if it was something where they were thinking, we haven't done an episode with werewolves in a while, let's do an episode with werewolves. And someone maybe got this idea of someone being turned into a werewolf. I'm forgetting the time that Teen Wolf started, but I think, you know, season 8, Teen Wolf started in 2001 or 2011. So Teen Wolf was happening. Maybe they were a little bit inspired by Teen Wolf and wanted to have it, you know, obviously they're in college. Maybe they were high school doesn't work, so they had it where they're in college, and do something about one of them turning into a werewolf, and maybe that is where the inspiration leads. I don't know. I feel even though I'm very critical of the archival footage twist or element of it, I feel it could have worked if maybe the story was different. I just wonder even if we didn't have the archival footage, the story itself would have worked. And I wonder if they first written it where it was different, where it wasn't, it was just a werewolf story, and then they added in the archival footage because they felt it was enough. But a part of me wonders, because a lot of times when Supernatural does do these risks, especially with the style of filmmaking, I feel that comes first. So part of me feels they actually first wanted to do it with this footage, they wanted to do that idea, you know, maybe they saw the excess of ghost facers because ghost facers were really great, and they're like, it's 5 seasons later, like we can do another episode like this, like maybe that's what happened. So they wanted to do an episode like this, and they were trying to figure out what it was, and so they were like, you know, we did ghosts in the past, I've always kind of liked ghosts, but they didn't want to do another ghost episode, so they were like, let's do a kind of monster that we kind of know already, and that's why maybe werewolves make sense. So I kind of understand their understanding for that, but I feel like sometimes Supernatural does this where they have good ideas and they just don't execute it well enough. And so I feel like maybe, you know, the footage thing would have worked, maybe the werewolf thing would have worked, but I think maybe the story of it didn't work, because in the end, it's like these people are the main characters. Sam and Dean are not the main characters. These people are the main characters, and they're trying to make us like care for them and feel for them, but like we don't. And we're not going to get that in an episode, and it's really hard to do in an episode, and we kind of don't want to anyway because they all die or whatever. So it just like didn't work, and I don't know. I feel like there's a way that could have made it work, but it didn't work. It wasn't like god awful. Like the episode wasn't god awful, but it just wasn't my cup of tea, I feel like, or was strong enough. So we'll see if it ends up on the worst list, but I think I already forgot about this episode. I don't know. But anyway, those are my comments. But if you totally disagree about this episode, if you love this episode, you know, comment below. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.